of getting off, no way of getting back.
No, the authorities aren't going to come out and get you during tropical storm conditions, during flooded roads and all of that. So, yeah, I would be surprised if we don't see evacuation instructions from here, and you need to listen to those.
And you look at this. This is only a couple of blocks wide.
Yeah,
that's it. We have four or five blocks here, and that's the entire width of the island.
Yeah, and you think of past big storm surge events on barrier islands like this, like Bolivar Peninsula and Ike of Texas. And then east of here is that St. Mark's area that we saw storm surge flooding occur in Hermine just 2 years ago, and that was not a major hurricane.
This one has the possibility to be significantly stronger with a right front quadrant hit. This is very marshy here, so what's going to happen here?
So this is that very concave-shaped area of the Florida Big Bend area, and very low-lying and very marshy. So some of this isn't even normally dry ground, but you get up into the St. Mark's area, and that water's getting pushed up the river. This town will flood easily in many of the scenarios. No matter what the exact track intensity is, I don't see how we get out of a flood issue from storm surge at St. Mark's. And this is not all that far south of Tallahassee, so some of the areas between St. Mark's and Tallahassee could flood. Now, Tallahassee itself is not going to get storm surge.
We're safe from storm surge in Tallahassee.
Like in the core of Tallahassee, you're dealing with a wind issue and a heavy rain inland flood issue. But I've lived here. Again,
this could be higher winds than Hermine. This could take down more trees, and we've got these beautiful live oaks, the Spanish moss. And the power lines go in.
Right.
I mean, these trees are so old. The power lines, these trees have literally grown around the power lines in essence.
Yeah, Tallahassee is one of those beautiful gems in the country that if you haven't been there, the trees are just gorgeous. But depending on the exact track and intensity of this relative to Hermine, this could end up being just as bad, if not worse, because you could get stronger winds this time if you get the major hurricane going just to the west of you and you get the stronger side of it.
All right.
Lot to deal with.
It's a lot to deal with. There is no question about that.
And we haven't even talked about Georgia and the Carolinas yet.
We're going to talk a lot more with Dr. Neb. Listen, we've got 4 hours here. We're going to break this down for you tonight here on Weather Underground with Hurricane Michael forecasted strength to potentially Category 3 before a landfall. Residents in the path of the storm being told to get ready now. Dan Sheneman reports.
How many bags do you need? 4.
In a race against time, northern Florida residents are getting ready for Hurricane Michael.
It's fast. This is coming very fast.
The hurricane is expected to continue gaining strength as it moves across the warm Gulf water toward the Florida Panhandle. Forecast to make landfall late Wednesday, possibly as a Category 3.
Today is the time to get a plan. Do not put it off. There isn't any reason not to be prepared and not to keep your family safe.
Advice people like Tallahassee resident Gino Harris are heeding.
Get the propane, get extra water, make sure everything's taken care of by the time the storm actually comes.
The governor has declared a state of emergency for 26 counties and activated 500 members of the National Guard in advance of the storm.
Storm surge, rain, floods, we can see tornadoes. So you got to follow the weather, you got to listen when they say they're to evacuate. You have got to evacuate, and don't wait to the last minute.
The storm is already lashing western Cuba and is expected to bring as much as a foot of rain to northern Florida as the region braces for Hurricane Michael.
All right, we want to take you live right now to Apalachicola, Florida, where you could see significant storm surge here. Forecasting as high in Franklin County as 12 feet of storm surge. This is one of the most surge-prone locations in all of the countries, right here through the panhandle of Florida. And we also know that winds will be significant, especially when you're talking about the core of the winds in the right front quadrant, where you really maximize the forward speed and the most intense part of the hurricane as well. So let's take a look at what the wind field is for you right now, because you take a look at it, and we currently have hurricane-force winds that extend out a small area. It's just the area in red. That's it. Listen, this thing is just getting going now, okay? Tropical storm-force winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. But then you notice where the timing of the tropical storm force winds is and where it begins, all right? Taking a look at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We're talking just off the coast here, okay? And then by the evening, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, we'll be looking at tropical storm force winds now Pensacola, Destin, Panama City, Tallahassee, even over toward Gainesville. We could be looking for tropical storm force winds. And by Wednesday morning, could be looking at them in Valdosta or in Atlanta and near Savannah as well. So it's going to be inland as well. Then you take a look at what the what the wind generation is here and where the U.S. GFS model is pushing this thing. Very near Panama City with the right front quadrant in this area right here. That does include Apalachicola. Take a look at where the European model is, just slightly to the west, but somewhat similar here, right? Then you took a look at the power outage that could be a result of the high winds that come with this. Most likely here, Tallahassee to Valdosta, but possible all the way into the Carolinas. When we come back, we're going to talk a lot more about the inland impacts that come our way and what could happen in the Carolinas with the hurricane expert, Dr. Rick Knapp.
With catering delivery from Olive Garden, we make the food and deliver right to your door. So you won't have to lift a finger, just a fork.
If you have psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats moderate to severe plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
I'm missing out on our family outings because I can't find a bladder leakage product that fits. Everything was too loose. But Depend FitFlex feels tailored to me.
With a range of sizes for all body types, Depend FitFlex underwear is guaranteed to be your best fit.
Why bother mastering something? Because when you want to create an entirely new feeling, the difference between excellence and mastery is all the difference in the world. Introducing the all-new Lexus ES, a product of mastery. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
I don't keep track of regrets. I never count the wrinkles. And I don't add up the years. But what I do count on is staying happy and healthy. So I add protein, vitamins, and minerals to my diet with Boost.
New Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink now has 33% more high-quality protein, along with 26 essential vitamins and minerals your body needs, all with guaranteed great taste.
The upside? I'm just getting started.
Boost High Protein. Be up for life.
The fact is, there are over 9,600 roads named Park in the U.S. It's America's most popular street name, but Allstate agents know that's where the similarity stops. If you're on Park Street in Reno, Nevada, the high winds of the Washoe Zephyr could damage your siding. And that's very different than living on Park Avenue in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where ice dams could cause water damage. But no matter what park you live on, one of 10,000 local Allstate agents knows yours. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Attention oxygen therapy users. If you've been chained to an oxygen tank, then you know they're a burden. Tanks keep you from living the life you love.
I was on oxygen tanks, and I couldn't go anywhere, do much of anything. I didn't dare go far.
It's time to reclaim your independence with an Inogen One oxygen concentrator. Inogen makes its own oxygen from the air around you, so you'll never worry about running out of oxygen again.
I wasn't going to run out of oxygen ever, and it was like freedom. I got my life back. I really love my Inogen.
The Inogen One G4 is lightweight and compact. Plus, it's battery operated, so you can have oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Oh, do I think Inogen is worth the money? You better believe it's worth every single penny of it.
Call now for your free information kit. There's no obligation. Inogen. Oxygen anytime, anywhere.
Call 1-800-650-0784. That's 1-800-650-0784. Call now for your free information kit.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch, trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 66. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Very warm. High 79. Chance of rain 50%. Tuesday night, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Low 67. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back. Michael is a strengthening hurricane, still Category 1, but forecast to become a major hurricane before it comes ashore on the Florida coastline up in the Panhandle Big Bend region within the next couple of days. But it's already time for a hurricane warning. It has just been issued by the National Hurricane Center and the local forecast offices, and that is in an area I'll show you in just a moment. It's still just entering the Gulf of Mexico, moving north at 9 miles.
So I made it easy for America to find me. In the refrigerated section, Giovanni Rana Pasta. Share what's inside.
This is your wake-up call. If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, month after month, the clock is ticking on irreversible joint damage. Ongoing pain and stiffness are signs of joint erosion. Humira can help stop the clock. Prescribed for 15 years, Humira targets and blocks a source of inflammation that contributes to joint pain and irreversible damage.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Help stop the clock on further irreversible joint damage. Talk to your rheumatologist. Right here, right now. Humira.
Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. Balanced, nutritious, and delicious. With 22 grams of protein, savory vegetables, quinoa, and cashews. Together in perfect harmony. Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. This is fit.
So I needed legal advice. And I heard that my cousin's wife's sister's husband was a lawyer, so I called him. But he never called me back.
If your cousin's wife's sister's husband isn't a lawyer, call LegalZoom and we'll connect you with an attorney. LegalZoom, where life meets legal.
This storm will be life-threatening and extremely dangerous. Impact from wind, rain, and storm surge could begin tomorrow night. This means in 36 hours. We are expecting 4 to 8 inches of rain, and some areas might see 12 inches of rain. The storm will bring torrential rain to most of the Panhandle and Big Bend, which means flooding will be a major issue. Tropical Storm Michael will bring dangerous storm surge to many areas, even those outside the path.
That was Florida Governor Rick Scott addressing Michael and its potential impacts to Florida. Welcome back in, everyone, to Weather Underground. We are tracking Hurricane Michael, set, we think, to become a major hurricane, landfalling roughly 48 hours from now. Currently, it's packing winds of 80 miles per hour and still a good distance away from Florida, but we're already seeing some stormy weather ahead of it and flooding at Dauphin Island, Alabama, from a high tide here and the surf, a little bit of water over the roads here. But wait until the storm surge comes, because we could be looking for significant flooding, especially across Florida. Alabama, as of right now, with the current track, you'd be on the west side of it. You have more of an offshore wind than an onshore wind. But having said that, you can get these really high. We're going through king tides now, so you can get these high tides as you get swells that push in. So it may not, in some places, it may not necessarily be a wind factor, as more of a swells factor that you have here, Dr. Knabb. But walk us through what we know right now with this, and eventually we think this could become a really significant hurricane.
Yeah, two things I think we could summarize is it's going to strengthen and it's going to make landfall, and time is running out. You've got about a good day until tomorrow night to get ready in the Florida Big Bend and Panhandle region, and it's important as you prepare and listen to what local officials are telling you to do, to not focus on what it is now, focus on what it is forecast to become, and that is a major hurricane coming ashore. So here's where it is on the satellite now, just now coming into the Gulf of Mexico with winds of 80 miles per hour, and there will be hurricane hunters flying in it all night and for the next several days, including the NOAA G4 jet, which will fly around the hurricane to get data into the models to try to refine this track forecast over the next couple of days. But bottom line is, sometime during the day Wednesday, the center will come ashore, but it's before that the winds of tropical storm force will arrive, perhaps as early as tomorrow evening on the Florida Panhandle and Big Bend coastline, and then we've got a tropical storm going through portions of Georgia and the Carolinas. So who's going to get the winds? Well, it's nearly a certainty of getting sustained winds of tropical storm force in northwestern Florida, portions of southern, maybe in central Georgia, southeastern Alabama, and a decent chance of those winds into the Carolinas. And then the hurricane force winds, very, very high chances in the hurricane warning area, which goes from the Alabama-Florida border around to the Suwannee River, just to the north of Cedar Key. So all of these areas in hurricane warnings, and we'll update the details on where those are in effect in just a little bit. But bottom line is, large area at the coast and inland in northwest Florida that could be getting sustained hurricane force winds. So it's Tuesday evening when the winds could first arrive on the coast. So that's why we say if you need to evacuate according to local officials' instructions to get out of the storm surge prone areas, you got to do it tonight or tomorrow, because by the time tomorrow night rolls around, you'll need to be in the place you're going to take shelter. And we have a storm surge warning in effect from the Okaloosa, Walton County line just east of Destin around to Anclote Key. And it includes Crystal River and Cedar Key and St. Marks and Panama City Beach. This is for the danger of life-threatening storm surge, the salt water from the Gulf of Mexico getting pushed onto normally dry ground. And Mike, we're talking 8 to 12 feet above normally dry ground, and not just at the beachfront. Right. In places like the St. Marks area, it can go blocks to miles from the immediate Gulf Coast. Such a low-lying area, so susceptible to the water. And then you talk about the water rising and then waves on top of that. This could be a significant and maybe deadly storm. We want to update you on what happens when you get a right front quadrant hit. And basically, in essence, when we break down a hurricane, we think about it in 4 quadrants, okay? You just break it down in pie pieces like a pizza, if you will, right? But the direction of movement is very key, and the faster the movement can also be a real danger for you. So when we take a look at the right front quadrant, if the land mass is up here, okay, the right front quadrant is going to be the highest threat region, where it'd be this location right here, okay? That's your 1/4 of the quadrants of this, all right? We take a look at this. Tornadoes from a right front quadrant hit are significant. So just this area you can see has the majority of the tornadoes that come along with a landfalling tropical cyclone here. These are the areas where severe weather is possible for us tomorrow. And you think about where the hurricane could potentially be. It might be sitting somewhere down in here, and so this will be all on a wide scope right front quadrant here, and those are the areas that will be most at risk. Torcon tomorrow is a 3 in all these areas that are highlighted in red. Be careful tomorrow about that threat as well. Stick around. We've got more to come for you tonight as we cover Hurricane Matthew. Hurricane hunters now flying in and around the clock. We're going to break down what they're finding inside the storm right now and how critical their missions are to protecting lives and property.
Domino's delivery drivers are experts at handling bad roads. But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something about them, starting with this one. If your drive home is rough on pizza, tell us at pavingforpizza.com so we can fix roads across the country. Then carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each.
Store or to your door. Target run and done.
So a tree falls in your brand new car and totals it. And as if that wasn't bad enough, now your insurance won't replace it outright because of depreciation. If your insurance won't replace your car, what good is it? You'd be better off just taking your money and throwing it right into the harbor. I regret that.
With new car replacement, if your brand new car gets totaled, Liberty Mutual will pay the entire value plus depreciation. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. Balanced, nutritious, and delicious. With 22 grams of protein, savory vegetables, quinoa and cashews. Together in perfect harmony. Stouffer's Fit Kitchen Bowls. This is fit.
So you think this chip is nothing to worry about? Well, at Safelite, we know sooner or later, every chip will crack. These friends were on a trip when their windshield got chipped. So they scheduled at Safelite.com. They didn't have to change their plans or worry about a thing. I'll see you in a little bit. And I fixed it right away with a strong repair they can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you.
Really?
Being there whenever you need us, that's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Nothing outlasts Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
Hey, you can't do that. Can he do that?
Yeah, he's good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium. It's the #1 longest lasting battery.
Jardiance asked, and now you know. Jardiance is the only type 2 diabetes pill proven to both reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease and lower A1C with diet and exercise.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions.
Isn't it time to rethink your type 2 diabetes medication? Ask your doctor about Jardiance and get to the heart of what matters.
Moving. That's harder now because of